guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Joy. Today's video is a little bit different from the other videos as I'm going to be doing a campus tour and a Q&A session regarding my uni life at UNSW. So I'm going to start with the campus tour first. I'm going to start from the lower campus. It is closer to the Ulster Light Rail station, which is just in front of the campus. On the left side, there is a building called Block House. This is where most classes are conducted for diploma students. Next to it, we have the Roundhouse. Going through the hall, we can see the law library. It's a perfect place for all students as this library opens 24/7. On the left side of the library, we have the online breakfast to chill, and here's the student accommodations called UNSW Village and Universitarians on the left. There's also a mini market called IGA and several restaurants on the side. Then there's UNSW Bookshop and a food court close to each other. We go up to go to Quadrangle. We're now going to the upper campus. There are several restaurants here. Going up again, there we can find the main library. There are 14 levels in the library, and my favorite one is the third level as they have a rest place and the massage machines that we can use to relax. Sometimes the main library is too crowded, so there is another study space close to the library called the Morgan Brown Study Space. I love how the surroundings are so cute with an eating space and microwaves to heat our food. Next, we have another food court on the upper campus. Of course, there's an Ulster Light Rail station here, so we don't need to go all the way down to the campus to take the light rail. We've gone through the major places at UNSW. Now we're gonna move on to the next session for the Q&A. So I've got several questions regarding the requirements and applications at UNSW as well as the student life here, and I've prepared the most asked questions here, so I'm gonna answer from the first one. How did you apply to UNSW? Did you have an agent to help you with the visa applications? And what are the requirements for new students applications? So I applied at UNSW with the help of an agent called Alpha Link from Surabaya in Asia, and they helped me with my uni and student application. So first of all, you don't need HSC as they accept interstate 12 years qualifications, IB, A levels, New Zealand and CAE level 3, and overseas secondary qualifications that's equivalent to Australian studies. Secondly, they accept several English requirements, and most of the common ones are IELTS and TOEFL. For example, undergraduate student who wants to take engineering course must have the minimum result of 6.5 for the overall score and the minimum score of 6.0 for each band. But it goes different for the business course as they need 7.0 for the overall score and the minimum score for each band is 6.0. For me, I took IELTS when I was in high school and my score reached the requirements, so it's all good. I've put the link of the requirements needed in the link below. And the second question is, how did you register for class? I registered my class from my UNSW. I could choose the course that I want to take at a term and arrange my own timetable there. I'd suggest to plan on the course that you're gonna take and register earlier, as each course has its own capacity and it will be on a first come first basis. So the next question is, how was your orientation day at UNSW and how was the student life there? I had my orientation day back in 2022. It's a one-day orientation day where they explain about the unit system, the rules, and the program plan for each degree. So the program plan is basically a suggested plan of the course that we can take for each term based on our degree. You can also choose your own courses differently from the program plan. As for my student life, everyone has a different perspective on it, but for me, I enjoyed my uni life even though I have like a little bit struggle about my studies. Okay, a little story about my uni. I took diploma in my first year and transferred to uni on my second year. There's a slight difference between these two. The classes of diploma is much more similar like in high school. The teachers or the tutors know more about each of the students, whereas uni life is much more individuals in the term of studies and friends, and there are more choices than when we were in diploma. Also, uni have more options and the classes are spread all over in the area of the campus, and the campus is so big, so it's hard for us to bump into each other. Yep, so even though you might have a struggle with the studies, UNSW has their own help session. Here we can ask about the materials, about the courses, and also we have a study group where we can study together with our peers and seniors who teach us. We need to learn a few programming languages before starting our degree in computer science, or is it okay to start with unknowing any programming skills? Well, of course it's better to know the programming languages beforehand, and it is a plus point, but in my opinion, it wouldn't help that much unless you're used to being exposed to codes for years. As for myself, I learned Python a few months before I go to uni, but to be honest, it didn't help that much. So it's totally fine to start a course without knowing about the programming languages beforehand, as they will teach you from the basic concept of programming. Do you have the freedom of minoring in any subjects? Yes. As for myself, I need 144 units of credits for me to graduate. 96 of them are from the core courses, 36 UOC from the electives, and 12 UOC from the general education courses. Most of the course consists 6 UOC, so for my elective, I can choose 6 of the courses that are not from my core courses or general education courses. How to meet new people and make friends? Well, most of my friends I'm close with till now is from my orientation day and the first week of classes, so it's really important to socialize during the first week of uni as we're all still new so we're still exploring around, and there's a higher chance where we can click to several people. Joining clubs can also help you to meet new people, and then there you can make friends. So it's a good suggestion to join uni clubs based on your interests. So the next several questions is much more about the life here in Sydney. I'm gonna start with the accommodation. How do you get your accommodations? I got my first accommodation with the help of my agent. They helped me to book the apartment and the necessary stuff. What are the considerations of choosing accommodations? For me, the most important one is choosing a place to stay near a supermarket that I can reach within walking distance, as I mostly cook for my meals every day. The second thing is choosing a place that is close to public transportations like buses, light rails, or train stations. Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating if we need to go for a long walk when we go home at night. Thirdly, it will be a plus point if the place is really close to uni, but since I don't go to uni every day, so I wouldn't mind. And how do you pay rent? I pay my rent once every 2 weeks. What did you bring when you first came to Australia? Are there any important documents we need to bring? I brought cash at first. It's a must for me as I haven't had any bank account here in Australia. Clothes, my medicine, and some of the documents like my visa, of course my passport, my confirmation enrollment, print it out just in case if we need it in papers, even though I have the PDF files for that. I also bring my vaccination certificate as we need that during the COVID-19 era. You can watch the details on my video here when I first came to Sydney. How's your first day in Sydney? So my first day in Sydney is really chaotic. I picked up the wrong luggage and I needed to wait for another 2 days till they delivered my actual luggages to my address. So that's why it's really important to mark your luggages so it can be different from the other luggages. Other than that, it was fun. I learned how to read the Google Maps, the trains, light rails, and buses first in Sydney, so I wouldn't be lost. Was there any culture shock when you first came here? I think there is one thing. It's about the nighttime in Sydney. Like, the store closed at 6 p.m. because like it's really unusual in my home country. They close at 10 p.m. There's nothing much to do in Sydney at night. Of course, there are some places that open until midnight, but there's only a few compared to other places that open during midday. How's the life in Australia? I really like my life here. Like, the lifestyle is much more free compared to my home country, and I'm really thankful that I found my close friends that are really nice to me. I know most people feel lonely when you live abroad. Well, to be honest, I wasn't used to it because I always live with my family. Gradually, I enjoy my time alone, going out alone, eating alone, shopping alone. I considered to take myself on a diet, and there's nothing wrong with doing things alone. So I hope you guys can also feel the same, enjoy our company alone. So next question. Is there anything you're struggling with? Well, it's a little bit difficult to find a casual or part-time job here. The competition is much more stricter as many people came here for work. From my own experience, it took around 2.5 months for me till I received my current casual job. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to balance between work and study, but I managed my work and studying effectively after a couple of weeks of adaptations. How do you manage your budget? I track my expenses, and this is the most important part. Then I prioritize my needs over something that I want, and of course make a use of student discount. And the last question is, are there any tips for saving money? First is cooking your own meals. This will have a huge impact compared to eating outside every day because the food outside is quite expensive. Also, another thing that can help is buy the used textbook and taking advantage of free campus events and resources. So it's the end of the Q&A session, and I hope I have answered your questions. If you're thinking to or currently applying for university, I'm really hoping the best for you. And also, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you think this video is useful for you. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!